Sheesh, dude. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're taking a look at the 5th CYPHER. It's the solos from D.LEAGUE 2023-2024 CYPHER round. I have been so living in the CYPHER round, especially the trio round. Died, needed to be resurrected and resuscitated. My god, it was so good. Everybody held it down so well, and also that was the one I was the most accurate on. I got 4 out of the top 5, so I felt really good about that. Maybe we'll keep the good vibes going and seeing if I can lock down this 5th CYPHER and even get close to who would be the top 3. The solos I have not been that great on, but it's all in good fun for my case. Remember, I'm a choreographer and I'm an educator. I'm not quite in the battle scene nearly as much in my scope, but I have enough of a layman perspective to be somewhat objective of knowing who could score in the higher ranks and who would be near the bottom. So please keep that in mind. Very excited about this. I do know there's a BPM range for the solo ones. I think this one has the highest range potential. So I do expect this one to have some pretty interesting choices, and I am curious as to who is going to be sent out from each team, because I do know in the solos, they have to be from the actual team. You cannot have a special performer represent your team. So I am looking forward to seeing this, and I also know what happens in that bottom corner when they give the stats. I know on the left side, the number is how many matches they participated in, and then on the right side, it's the winning rate of that individual. That can give a little bit of a giveaway for me for round 6, because I have not technically finished round 6. I'm about halfway through, but all that to just say, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. Let's go ahead and take a watch. All right, who's going first? Full cast this time? He said, let's just go for it. That's funny. Fun. That was fun. Septiny Raptures. Here we go. Sakura. Oh, we're the same height, girl. Get it. Yeah, fun. Fun. Oh, what we doing? What we doing? Just switching that track up. Here we go. Hey. Yow. Come on. Yo, does he have Velcros? He may be my new favorite person. Oh. Makes sense why he would be in this one and not in the other ones, because the other ones are... This is a really good BPM for house, for sure. Oh, here we go. Wow. I also appreciate too when you have crews that like have a representative aesthetic, because you have full cast with their fits or similar, and then everybody from Benefit all has that black, red, and white vibes in the heels too. Nice. Wow. 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 Very strong. Cyber Agent. Wow. Okay. Oh, here we go. Satsuki. We like Satsuki. The reason why we're here is because of him. Let's go. Sheesh, dude. Sheesh. That was nice. Dude, I love her fit too. Nice. This is turning into a really tough one. Here's the, I thought the trios were hard. Match Commissioner. Oh, Valiance has been 4 for 4 for me. Come on, my guys. Sell it, send it home. Okay. Cool. Okay, imoon. One chica. Ooh. That was nice. Okay. Fun. Come on, he's also another one that motivated me by seeing what he does to watch D.LEAGUE too. I knew Jump High before D.LEAGUE, man. Come on. Wow, cool. Nice. Nice. Fun, that was cool, that was cool. Whoa. Cause they A-Rocks, what we doing, dude? Let's do it. Come on. Oh. Nice. Yeah. He freaking said I smoked it. Yo. He said, okay, next. Come on, come on. Yeah. Come on, okay. Oh, we got a lot of heavy hitters in this one. Fun. Yay. Nice. What a way to finish it. Okay. All right. That one's, honestly, it's a little tough. I feel, I mean, I have my preferences. I know that. I may just go off that again because I'm trying to find my little notebook. I have like a whole notebook of all my stats. Where did I put it? Whatever. Okay. So we'll just go off of this one. I have this one here. Oh, I found it. Okay. So from the top, here's the thing. It's so tricky with solos. I feel so unconfident in who I would put in top 5 because I've been wrong every time. So, does that make sense? I think the only ones that I was confident in, I think that the very, very first solos match where I had nothing going in. But here, in this case, BPM is definitely faster, so you notice there's a lot of people are opting for house or more footwork based because it just caters to the BPM more. Notice with, out of everybody, Satsuki is one of the very few that really brought like a popping influence into his set. And it makes sense because that's the type of aesthetic. Honestly, Full Cast did a freaking great job with all this. How we set this up. I'd say he actually had a very, very strong start. And then near the end, it kind of felt like we were just putting on more of a performance and then actually competing or battling, you know? Right here, of course, if you don't know what that is, you take a... smoke it and you just stomp it out. That means I smoked you. It kind of gives off that energy. You notice Koze A-Rocks also did it after their set, so it's interesting that we saw him here. He's getting into it. I really loved his syncopation and his choices of how he chose to isolate. I really did. I love that choice. Usage of stage, vibing out with everybody, building up the energy, trying to match the wordplay a little bit, which I love. Digging through the groove, exploring a little bit more. Appreciate that. Going first is hard. It really is. Yeah, so he sends up. This part, I don't know why. I don't know why we decided to make this choice. Maybe just for, it's the finals, you know, it's our final cypher. Let's go for it. But then you also know DYM ends up pulling something a little similar to that, but it was also as a slight diss to him. You saw little intricacies of the chest and the ISO. Yeah, it's all in good fun. I mean, honestly, set was pretty strong. I mean, I don't know how people would take it in general near that tail end, but so she had a really great setup here. Catered more towards, I think, locking, right? Yeah. Yeah, I love the little extra that she does in how she does her twirls. She has, I like the essence and the pull of the chest. Yeah, really nice in that front. Notice with the switches and the twists of the feet. Super fun to see. That was really nice too. Great usage of levels and showcasing depth. Her Witch Away is so freaking high. I'm actually really impressed by that. It just felt so, it just has a nice little unique, I think how she hits her locking is so, I don't know, it feels like her. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a part of her. It doesn't feel like she's just doing technique. So I actually hope she scores pretty high. Yeah, I'll write her name down for me, because she did just freaking strong. She showed great, you know, usage of vocabulary. She showcased great fluency within the craft, and it kind of felt like she was able to be herself. Like, she felt, you know, and she wasn't overpowering the music. She matched the music pretty well. So I would say, who was that? Oh, Stephanie? Right, yeah. She was freaking great, honestly. It's a DYM, right? So he goes, he's like, punch, punch. Really nice way to start it. Goes down, and then he pulls his shirt up. That was a fun little diss moment. And then he goes right into house. Really nice, dropping it down, a little alpha moment there. Kip up, right into a dolphin. Digging it through, heel dig. For me, the best part about this whole round, he's wearing Velcros. That's what I was talking about. Macklemore talked about it with Thrift Shop. Nah, he got the Velcros. I'm gonna pop some tags. So that was really, really fun to see. And because he's doing house, it made me naturally want to look at his feet. I hope they have good arch support, because I can't find Velcros that got good arch support. Unless they're like New Balances, but they're like expensive. So he's doing a pretty good job for the most part. I like how he's taking that breath moment to kind of really teeter up the energy upwards. Pulling it through, definitely. I mean, I feel like a lot of our guys, or a lot of our people here in this round specifically, just in the cypher, that a lot of them are not taking it like as seriously, or we see more gimmicks in play, that kind of stuff, like what we saw from Full Cast. See a little bit of that from here. We saw that from Dip Battles a little bit too. And I mean, I like it. Do I feel like there's anything like astronomically unique about it? I know that's a criteria. It's not unique to me as much. I think he wrote it pretty well. I like the little diss moment he had. I think it could really help. Just kind of walking through. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I did a pretty good job for the most part. But if it won, held it down pretty well. I think that I'm always, you know, I am always impressed with those who can hold it down in heels. You know what I mean? Really nice. And I also feel too, I feel like just with this type of cypher format, it just doesn't set up those who pursue Vogue with as much success. You know, I kind of felt that way with Street Woman Fighter too. It was at Vessi, right? I just feel that we're not able to see them perform at their best because the structure of either the track, and same with Full Cast. I feel like we haven't seen a set where they were able to really shine because the music doesn't cater to them as much. That was really nice into that handstand, like that push up to handstand, man. That was great. Right into the dips. So I would say out of all the soloists that I've seen, theirs was the strongest because the dips mattered in where they were being placed. The choice and usage of when to use their hair. I really like the format of this one in particular, and it's very clear, the intention. That was impressive too. A little bobble on the heels, but that's still so freaking impressive. I could not have that confidence. Back handspring, boom, back handspring, come on. Right into the dip, boom, love that. Diving it through. Little dip action. So honestly, they held their own pretty well. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to make it into a top 5 slot based on how others performed, but I think they held it down pretty well for the group, for sure. And we got Cyber Agent coming in hot. She's our locker, because we have some that are heavy and popping. I love that energy, how she chose to pop it down a little bit lower. A little influence on that going into her locking. Notice she does get to take her locking, and in comparison to who we saw from Stephanie, she had really nice range, and it kind of felt like we had a nice, you know, it was like she was locking, but in a different tone, you know, it kind of felt like that. It didn't feel like she was trying to mimic anyone. It was her. Here it feels like locking is a part of her, you know, stature and overall being an implicit movement, but you can tell that she is definitely receiving fingerprints or influence from those of her crew, which is super cool. She's able to handle this BPM a little bit more aggressively. She builds it up pretty well. Loves integrating a little bit more of the ticking, more syncopation within other fundamentals, live popping. That was a nice little groove, switching it through. Yep, little gimmick action at the tail end of that. Really fun to see. Yep, ding, 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 ding. Nice, and then we got Satsuki coming in hot. Now for me, Satsuki's set is one of the more unique ones, not just because of honestly, I think he matched his music very, very well. Very similar to, I would say, I would give to Septini. So he has to recalibrate what he does to the track. Walking forward, look at his tutting progression, notice he builds it up. The type of track really worked in his favor. Stability check, notice right here, he's focusing a lot of his energy down here, making sure this is in check, but also showcasing various levels. Very much a fan. I love that flip over here, how he's able to do that. He's technically flat-footed here, but the type of shoe he's wearing makes it look like he's breaking the ankle. A nice illusion. I really appreciate that. Switching it through, boom, 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 boom. It's fun. It's definitely unique. It is, and I think that's going to really help in his favor. Out of everybody, I would hope for Katakawa, this should be one of the higher scoring with the point values for Katakawa. For the team. As a solo, this is the best solo out of the team. For sure, out of the ciphers. That was really nice. I love that speed change too, as he slowly comes up. Really enjoys that energy, how he chose to have a moment, build it up, and then travel it with his hands. Notice he's using his shoulder, ding, 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 to make that moment and create his performance quality. Is so nice to see. Setting it down, builds up the energy, nice little hop action. Using the upper body to help showcase with the lower body. Very collaborative effort here and allowing the body to build out where needed. Very fun. That right there, a little cobra action. Then he takes his hands and he uses his fingers to help create a nice travel throughout his wave. And that right there, I love the tension of the shoulder, setting it up. Honestly, this is a really, really nice run from him, diving it down. Right here, he goes and he claps, he finishes it out. Now there, I feel like he could have definitely really tilted those feet. It wasn't quite as flat as what you saw before. Then he chose to break it down, setting it through. He has nice breathable moments, like that instance where it has a significantly more legato take about the groove in comparison to the more intricacies of the staccato accents. Yeah, right there. So he made it a point for one of the focal points of his set to be about his usage of the breaking of the foot, which I remember seeing that from Candyman and from Nagin from Street Dance China, so I totally understand that niche for sure. He did a freaking great job. I would hope he would get a top 5 just from the unique standpoint. For personal reasons, I just like his movement quality. I always have, and it's really cool to see him showcase in different ways choreographically within the group, but also be able to kind of hold his own very efficiently in the ciphers too. It's very great. He's a really great, I think he's a key player in his team, and I think that is awesome. He did a great job. Now, what we're seeing from Lifeful, they held it down pretty well in a lot of rounds. It really just kind of depends on what kind of individual you pull. I feel like they showcase the most character. So they definitely bring a lot of uniqueness and presence, but I know a lot of times criteria comes from uniqueness of movement, not just what you wear. You know, I love how she bled through that. It was gorgeous. Her overheads, her range, oh my God, is gorgeous. I love that, setting it up. Love the energy. She chose to travel it and roll it down. Her traveling through. She even got the little baby heel in play. Love that. Building the energy. Love it. Honestly, she's giving 13 going on 30 in a business meeting, and I am living for it. It's probably because of her hair and the kind of silky blouse. And I love that energy. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Now, I guess my question would be, because with a lot of what everyone is wearing, is there a chance that, because I remember with some of the judges, they had said from other matches, specifically with Sega Sammy, they've gotten it twice now. So I hope they've learned to be very mindful of what they're wearing. That just their fit sometimes can be very distracting in terms of being able to see the movement. So I'm curious, because for me, I am struggling just a little bit on some of her syncopation in sequences that she's going for in her upper body, of course, with her overheads and her whacking variations in her strikes. I wonder if the judges may deem that as a particular feedback note for her outfit. It's a bit difficult to really see a lot of her intention in some of her movement, because of how it sits through a lot of her overheads. But honestly though, I really like that moment is gorgeous with her top. It's just some of these overheads just get kind of caught in the crossfire with some of the material in the chest part or near the neck, I think. But I love her moment. She progresses it well. I love that bleeding energy. She travels it up and then brings it out and breaks it out. And then she finishes really nice. So she held it down really, really well. She should score pretty well for her team, I think. Just nice little walks. I love that. She said, I just walk like a freaking model. Goodness, girl. So Valuance has been freaking sick. It's my favorite solo cipher from Valuance. I really like the second, and I really think that first one was super captivating on a creative forefront. Very strong start. Definitely taking a more footwork approach with a little bit of breaking trickled in. That was nice. It did feel like he collapsed just a smidge out of that back handspring, but I don't think that's really what the case was. I'm not quite sure. That wasn't that called like a caponera or whatever? What is that called? Nagin would do something similar to that in street dance China, and that's what they would call it, and it's like a Brazilian war dance or something like that. So I'm curious if that's like tailored to that or if it has its own name. Very curious about that. Really nice with switch throughs. It does feel like we're not completing as much as our footwork sequences as much. Quad berets for sure, a little heel toe variants for sure. And I like the little thread moment allowing his body to turn and rotate. I appreciate the uses of the hinge as well. Switching through, that was a nice progression, bringing it through. But also it is a bit tricky for us to catch it here, and I got a front row view with his camera, so I'm curious about if the judges are able to pick up on the clarity of some of his movements as much. So do I feel maybe that's top 5? I don't know. You know, for me, I would think I would want Valuance to win all, like the whole point thing. And I think after this is the last round, right? Last cipher round, so I get to find out if who took that top spot. That'll be really fun. I'm really hoping for Valuance because they've been doing really, really well in the cipher. I think that one, it wasn't weak, but it was not the strongest out of all the ones that we've seen from them. No, I absolutely adore her bodysuit in the top. I think it's more like a bike tart, I think is what we would call it, because it has the shorts. It is gorgeous with an open back. Now that beginning was really nice because she doubled up on the body roll. Then she switched it out to a nice little mountain climber. It is nice to see her vibe with the track. You can tell she's more familiar with it. Then she takes a more contemporary approach. She has a very strong set. I'm being hopeful that she does pretty well and scores well for her team, you know, because I know depending on your overall ranking with all the points, that determines what kind of point values you get for the round. As she builds it up, it's definitely nice. I love she's not overpowering the music. She's building up the energy once again just to match that music, which is a really nice choice. Yep. Pops. She literally pops up, pop, with a little chest pop, which I love. Turns through a little shanae action, which I like. It was fun. And then she gets Junpei out. Junpei looks like an angsty teenager. I love it though. It's fun. I know he's the captain of Avex, right? Yeah. So he's really able to hit that quickness. Ding, 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 ding. Really nice. It doesn't shock me, no. But I'm saying if you've never really seen any of these people dance before like that, he's doing a great job of fitness, syncopation of it. And you can tell it's definitely something that's not overly strenuous or laborious for him. Also, he did a little teetering similar to what Satsuki did, where he kind of dropped it or kind of like inverted the shoes a little bit for that part. That was really fun to see. I like how he built up the energy, kicking it through. He hit that downbeat really nice. Now I did feel like he kind of fell out of it. Do I know? Not really 100%. Sometimes these people do this out of choice. I'm not quite sure. Really nice. Switching it through. It's just really nice. He's just vibing out. I love that double ding, ding, ding. That was really fun to see that too. Some of his sequences are very, very impressive to just be able to just knock out just because. You know, so he definitely has more clarity of his syncopation in comparison to what you were seeing from Valuance. You know, I think that's kind of like a good difference, you would say. I would say his quality of the differences between the heel digs and the toe taps mixing with a lot of the stability with the little taps happening. I mean, that's definitely how you could tell in sense of quality. So I would hope that maybe he would score pretty pretty higher, at least compared to Valuance, with some of his sequences and how he's bringing it about. Noticing he's doing a little ISO action, had a little legato moment in the middle too, a little loose leg action. That was nice too. Doing a little, feels like we're doing a little tic-tac-toe, a little patty cake action. So it's just, I feel like they're not taking themselves too seriously, and that's what makes it fun. There's Koze. Koze actually did a pretty good job here. A little clap, getting the audience involved. We're finishing it out. We're finishing out the cypher, man. He does a good job listening to the music to set this up into Top Rocks. He definitely is very intentional about listening to the music a lot more than I would say that very first cypher. He's doing a very good job considering the type of track this is, for real. Nice. That was a nice sequence. Nice. That was good. He took it. You see that he smoked and he stomped it out. I see that. That was a good set from Koze for sure. Alright, here we go. Now, I do find it interesting because I do know my guy here from Dip. I mean, we're gonna have to talk about it. Dip, he's, I know his hair is shorter. I don't think this is his actual hair, and then he's also wearing a do-rag as well. I'm very curious about this because I'm gonna kind of bet you that's not his real hair, and it is giving very much a dread look. As well as wearing a do-rag, and just the cultural, like, knowing what the function of a do-rag is you know, I don't know. I think out of everything that I do see a lot of times with D.LEAGUE, I think this is the most, I think I have the most questions about his choice with his do-rag, with the hair choice. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, exactly. Because when you look, I've seen him from round 0. So, like, I know that is not his hair. Now, whether or not it was put in, that's a different question. I think, so this would just be something where I do have more questions than answers for. I think his set was fine. I think that's something that it was a bit, I was very conscious of that. And so I'm actually just curious with you guys if you have any insight as to the choices like this in particular that get made in these types of leagues and choices, you know. Pinning it through. His choices, he has a really wide range. Now, you notice how dark it is on stage and he's wearing all black. It is a bit hard to read what he's doing because he even has black shoes. But I like how he progressed and had that moment. Ding, 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 ding. Nice little syncopation as he came up. Yeah, little jump rope. I kind of give a little jump rope action, but this right here having a little kind of like patty cake, monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. You know, it kind of gave off like we're hanging out. Yeah, it's because he was also doing that too. So it's just definitely, it's really funny. It's definitely more of a gimmicky vibe. Little wave through. He comes in and out. Through. Heel dig action, kind of setting it up, switching it through, like a little popping, isolation, transition, which was cool. A little dime top strobing, which was fun. So we definitely mixed a lot of different styles. Finishing it out with Sega Sammy, man. So I really appreciate the fact, I believe he may be one of the oldest competitors on the team. So he was born in 1981. He's still freaking got it. He's got better flexibility than I do, and I am not. He's about 15 years older than me, I think. Yeah. Love it. I love how he swiveled that. That was really nice. Yep. Great usage of the upper bodies. He brought it down. Really nice to see. Throwing it through. Yeah, boom. Ding, ding. You notice how he caught that? That was really nice. He matched the music pretty well on that part. That was a really fun moment. Definitely gimmicky. Helps with performance. Look, you even got people influence on the back end on that. just fun. You can tell he has a lot of there's a lot of people who respect him in the space, which is great. That was nice to see too. Right to the split. Sheesh. And then notice it goes shh, and then he sinks into it a little bit more. Very fun to see. A little anchor kind of swivel point right there. Hitting and diving it in. Boom. Yep. Love that. And he brought it down and up. Yep. So that whole vibe, I love it. And we finished in a total party. So that's really nice to see. I am noticing too, even with his hair, it's just a very interesting topic of conversation. I don't the Japanese culture of hairstyles. It is something that in America we have these types of conversations a lot more than what I know of what happens in other countries conversation wise. So I'm very curious of those of you who have been a part of those types of conversations with the type of hairstyles that we have or that we've seen a lot on the stage. And I'm talking specifically not really with braids, but more so to do with the type of actual, like, getting it in that dread like state or in that kind of particular type of whatchamacallit. Does that make sense? Like, I don't really study nearly that much with hair, as you can. I don't really have a lot of it to work with anyway, and so it's just something that I am definitely learning more about and knowing where that fine line of appreciation versus maybe not the best to take on that type of hair, because for me there's certain types of hairstyles that are not practical with my hair, you know what I mean? I would say with box braids, I personally, the box braids will not stay in my hair. The texture of my hair is not practical for box braids. So it makes sense why box braids wouldn't be practical for me, right? So, but have I had box braids in my hair? I have, and I've had people put them in, and they only lasted a week, and that's not, you know, it's definitely, it's one of those things where it's like you kind of, it's just so interesting for me, and I definitely feel like I'm ever growing and learning with that. But at the end of the day, though, that's just like a little side thing, not really in cadence to this. But there was just a couple instances in this one in particular where it really caught my attention. So that's why I just wanted to kind of open the discussion up if you guys wanted to contribute in some way. Now, who do I think would be in my top 5? Here's the thing, zero confidence here, but we're gonna go ahead and shoot out some names. I think Septini, I really liked her vibe and flow. I think she set her set very well, and I think it matched very well with the music. I think in terms of uniqueness, I really liked Katakawa with Satsuki. I liked his utilization of his shoes specifically, and I think he catered to the track very well as well. So I do expect him, at least on the point value side, to score pretty high, because whenever you see their trio, the trio did pretty well. I mean, it got second, you know, in that lineup, but I do know it's an accumulation of all points. So Katakawa, I would say he should score pretty high. Top 5, I would feel pretty safe to assume that. Septini, I would like to see Septini in top 5. I think it would be great. Kose did a pretty good job in tailoring to the track that they had. I would also say that I would say Cyber Agent, she definitely brought a different nice little spunkiness to her locking vocabulary that was different than Septini, you know, and I think we had some of the best kind of locking integration with the tracks in this particular case compared to some of the other ciphers. No, those were great, but these were kind of my standouts in terms of locking represented. Lightful, I really liked her movement quality, and I loved her fit and vibe and essence. Now, but it goes back to kind of my point. I mean, there was some really great things in previous matches and rounds that I was really captivated by, but judges did not agree with me on. But it could be because of my camera angle that I have is the best seat in the house. You know what I mean? And even if I'm in a position here where it's a bit tricky to see what's going on, I can't even imagine what our judges in the back are seeing, you know. So do I see Sega potentially making it in the ranks? I think so. Definitely the potential for that. Valuance, I think, will probably score pretty decent. Do I think top 5? I would say I would hope that Junpei would score higher than Valuance in the only instance of when you think about the type of syncopation and usage of the pas de bourrées and the heel taps, heel digs and toe tap, and with that kind of house variance. I think Junpei held it down a little bit more efficiently in that regard in comparison to Valiant. So I'm assuming they may be close together, but I'm not sure. You know, at the end of the day, I am just hopeful that these members feel like they did their best and they're able to contribute positively to their teams. And I think it's time for me to figure out who won this whole shindig. Let's do it. All right, I have taken a look, and I was pretty decently close. Valiant's taking all of it. Definitely makes sense to me, and I'm very happy for that. Sega Sammy was very, very consistent, and Cypher Agent. So all the ones that I was saying were consistent all the way through got awarded with those top 3 spots, and I don't have nearly as many qualms with that. No problems with me there. I did also check Katakawa. I would say Satsuki tied for second with Lifeful, and I liked both sets. I mean, I'd say Lifeful did a fantastic. She did a freaking great job, and I'm actually really glad that she got awarded for that. I was very worried that her costume may not have helped her as much. And then I will say that Koze scored very similarly to Full Cast in this round. That makes total sense to me because they gave off similar energy and how they did their sets. They both did the smoke. I thought that was really funny too, how they got the same score. And then Sega Sammy getting first. It doesn't really surprise me that much either. I'd say there was a huge captivation with the audience, as well as definitely fluency of the craft, for sure. It's definitely hard to compete with somebody who's been in the game for a long time and who's good at it, you know? So, in general, I'm very pleased with this Cypher round. I mean, for the first one for me, hopefully I'll be able to continue to do D.LEAGUE for many years to come, and I hope D.LEAGUE continues to happen for many years, because I've been absolutely learning so much about just a completely different culture of a league, a professional league, man, of dance. It's just so cool, you know? And I am definitely really excited to see how these groups progress throughout the rest of the rounds. I know we got round 8 happening in probably in about less than 2 weeks, and I think that's super dope. And I think by the time round 8 commences, I'll be finished with round 6 and officially be caught up, guys. So that's been really fun. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. If you want to see me react to D.LEAGUE, you can hang out on YouTube, because my turnaround time on YouTube is pretty quick for D.LEAGUE compared to most things. So that's really fun. And if you want to get it on the commentary, Patreon's a great way to do that, as well as YouTube. I'm always open to hearing new things, new insight, and learning new things along the way. Once again, I'm Jazz. Thank you for so much for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.